Are you focusing on doubts and distractions and therefore blurring the truth of your potential? Often when I start work with a creative professional and they're in that place of self-doubt or they're in that place of being really distracted, what we find out fairly early on in a consultation is that they don't really believe in their potential because they can't see it. It's become out of focus. So it literally is like when you're using a camera to focus on one thing, the background then goes blurred. And then as soon as you start to focus on the background, something in the foreground is then blurred. So if you're focusing on obstacles, if you're focusing on concerns and worries and doubts, the potential that you have as a creative is always going to remain blurred. And so what that means is you can't see it, you don't believe in it, and then that just means that all of the doubts and the concerns remain in focus and you start to really see the details of them and the background just blurs even more. So it's really powerful when we can learn to really reset that focus. We do lots of techniques like this on this channel. If you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed and you like the idea of techniques that are going to be able to transform the way you think about your potential and therefore make it easier to achieve your potential, then hit subscribe because I want for your dreams to come true. So a nice little practice is to keep using this analogy. So the first thing that we do is to start to remind ourselves what that potential is, what those dreams are. So what you're really doing in your mind is you're bringing them back into focus. And so it might be that you suddenly think, actually, I'm not really clear what my dream is. Like, I don't know, I've always sort of kind of wanted to get a book published, or I don't know, I've always kind of sort of wanted to work for myself, but that's about it. So in a way, that dream is already a little bit blurry, which makes it much more seductive for us to get focused on distractions, for us to get focused on concerns, because usually there's a whole load of history behind a concern, or usually with a distraction, it's very familiar. So what we need to do then is to create a history of that dream. We need to make sure that that dream is more familiar than the distraction. And the way that we do that is to continue to think about it. So you want to really practice this as much a day as possible. Keep asking yourself throughout the day, what's my dream? What does it look like? What's it going to be like when I get there? What are the components of my dream? The more you ask yourself those questions, the easier it is going to be to answer them. And the answers will get clearer. You'll start to notice things that keep cropping up. It might be that you've always wanted to have a freelance career and you keep coming up with different ideas, but every time you really think about it, you keep seeing yourself on stage delivering a talk, or you keep seeing yourself behind a camera making videos, or in front of a camera being the actor. So the more you keep coming back to what's my potential, what's my dream, where do I want to be in 5 years' time, the more you're going to really train your attention to focus on there. And then what starts to happen is the doubts and the distractions, they begin to blur. And so then you can dance between the two. Whenever that doubt creeps in, whenever your attention is drawn to, say, something to do with your family or something to do with your finances, you can have your attention there for a moment, but then you'll find it much easier to bring your attention back on your dream. You're going to learn the art of focusing where it needs to happen. So really use this one and remind yourself that whenever you are feeling overwhelmed by distraction, whenever those doubts are coming in, it's to say to yourself, okay, I'm focusing on these doubts and all of my beautiful potential is blurred right now. So what do I need to do to bring my focus there, and so that I can start to see all the details, all the pixels of that wonderful creative future that I want to create for myself? If you need accountability while you are on this amazing journey to develop a freelance career, to write a book, whatever your creative dream is, come find us in the Facebook community. We're there writing no matter what, no matter the obstacles, no matter what is coming up. We're learning how to be resolved creatives. We're learning how to be committed and determined creatives. And I would love to be able to support you in the Facebook community. You'll see the link below. Come join us, come say hello. So I hope you found this one useful, using that image of the camera and focusing where you want to focus. Have a great week. I'll see you next Monday. Take care.